Breaking news right now on the Valley today. Homes in a South Fargo neighborhood are being evacuated after a threat from a man at a home in the middle of the block.
In the Valley today's Brian Sherrod. He joins us live with the latest on the threats from the man to burn down his house. Good morning, Brian.
And good morning, Jordan and Lisa. This is actually on the 1700 block of 13.5 Street South here in Fargo. And right now we're across the street at University Drive. This is the closest we can be on the Essentia side. And letting you know that this is for, at first, a call for a disturbance around 2:39 this morning. And instead, it ended up being a call from a caller in the house saying that there was a female that called because there was a 25-year-old man that decided to pour flammable liquid into the kitchen and try to catch the house on fire. Now, also letting you know that the child and the caller of that home has left the residence, and the area has been secured since then. Now, they're still trying to get this 25-year-old man out of the home safely. As of right now, we have not heard much information about that. There's no updates about what they're doing to continue to get him out of the house or who this person is at this time. Now, neighbors are either a safe distance or sheltered in place right now, so they are in safe standings according to information that the Fargo police chief gave us. But right now, they're still trying to get this man out of his home. So we're going to continue to update you as we receive more information, as we're continuing to get more information. But for right now, this is the latest update that I have to give you.
And they are standing at a place where police have told them they are only allowed to be, so they are not able to get any closer because of safety of our news crew there. So Brian Sherrod reporting live this morning. Thank you.
The Valley is bracing for some scorchers this week of June. Several days of extreme heat is coming up.
Even 100 degrees, not out of the question. I know, a crazy number there. We're touching base with meteorologist Lisa Green this morning to see when we could maybe hit that 100 mark. Hard to believe, Lisa.
Yeah, you know, we've been talking about that this morning. It's been almost 10 years since Fargo has seen 100 degrees here in the Valley. It doesn't happen that often. We certainly feel the heat and heat index values that go up, but not quite that number. And there's certain things to consider when we start to get heat at this intense of a level here. And one of those is how hot surfaces get. Playground equipment can get quite hot. And of course, the ground itself too can really heat up, but it depends on what type of surface it is, how dangerous it is for you and your pets. So at a temperature of 95 degrees, that's your air temperature, it depends. Shaded areas may actually even feel a little bit better on those grassy surfaces. That's why we recommend you find shade during these hot stretches. Grass out in the sunshine, a little warmer at 105. Check out concrete, 125. So the sidewalks getting really, really hot at that number, and asphalt even hotter. That's going to be one of your hottest surfaces. And so dogs outdoors, maybe you go outdoors barefoot from time to time. Avoid that as much as possible, because here's a look at the threat. Paws can burn in a matter of 5 minutes at 120 degrees. So on concrete, and on asphalt, it's even worse. They can burn in a matter of 1 minute at 140 degrees at temperatures of 95. And we're going to be warmer than that. We've been talking about 100 degrees, and that's certainly possible. So one of the many things we're going to have to remember to do to stay safe during this hot stretch. Our temperatures right now very warm, some low to some mid 60s across much of the Valley. It's 68, in fact, in Grand Forks. It's 62 in Fargo. As you step out the door, you're going to notice that heat. And in addition to that, we've got a threat for a thunderstorm or two this morning in northwest Minnesota. We've got one little lightning bolt showing up here in Polk County. You can see that segment producing some areas where we've got a little bit of heavier downpours. The air is dry, so that means some of this is drying up before it reaches the ground, but it may have some impacts on you this morning as this continues to roll south and east. More sunshine out west. That's where we're expecting hotter temperatures today. Last day of school for Fargo students. Here's a look at your bus stop planner. Warm out of the bus stop this morning and downright hot this afternoon. 92 degrees around the 3 o'clock hour, and I'm expecting a high of 93. And tomorrow, here we go. Everybody in the 90s, mid 90s east to potentially 100 in parts of eastern North Dakota. And we go on from there into the upper 90s to near 100 Saturday too. First alert weather days, both days, dangerous heat. Find ways to stay cool. We've been talking about that all morning. And then heading into Sunday, still hot and getting more muggy with chances for rain and thunder. And something to keep in mind, this kind of heat sneaks up on you. Heat extreme heat is the #1 weather-related killer in the U.S. So it's something to definitely take seriously as we're heading into this heat wave.
Important reminders. Thank you, Lisa.
As the heat moves into the valley, people are turning on their air conditioners and their fans, and that leads to more electricity use. Utility companies say even with that spike in demand, they do not foresee any power interruptions.
They say they have enough capacity to provide reliable service during a surge in electrical use, but they do suggest ways to conserve energy during hot weather.
They can keep their blinds closed during the day, keep the sun out of the home, set their air conditioner back, set the thermostat back to conserve energy. Basically turning things off, appliances, cooking outdoors always helps in the summer too, rather than firing up your oven. You don't get the grill out, do that kind of thing.
They say Cass County Electric has never had an instance where there was so much demand they couldn't serve their customers during an increase of usage. Their coal, wind, and hydro resources allow them the opportunity for enough electrical capacity.
And Lisa Green's been talking about this, but heat-related illnesses will be a concern over the next several days. Heat is the #1 weather-related cause of death most years in the U.S.
Many families will be outside, maybe enjoying the sunny weather, but parents, you do need to take some steps to be prepared.
The best thing to do is to watch your children to make sure that they have oral intake, that they are rehydrating properly to make sure that they don't go past that threshold of heat exhaustion to heat stroke.
Health experts say to stay hydrated, use the air conditioning and limit your time outside.
Hot weather is prompting water restrictions in the city of Barnesville. No lawn watering is now allowed between 10 and 7. Plus, people are restricted based on their odd or even house address. Watering of flowers, gardens, trees, and shrubs is allowed, but you can't leave a running hose unattended with the water flowing.
If you're caught doing so, there's a $25 fine for the first violation, $50 after that. Details of the Barnesville restrictions are available on the VNL News app. One man is in jail and a woman is hurt after a stabbing in South Fargo. Police say 20-year-old Christian Underwood stabbed his girlfriend in the arm and then took off.
It happened in an apartment along the 4200 block of 9th Avenue Circle right around 6:30 last night. Underwood was spotted in a vehicle and arrested for aggravated domestic assault. The victim does not have serious injuries. The Becker County Sheriff's Office is now identifying a man whose death is being investigated as a work-related accident in Audubon.
The body of 43-year-old Joseph Boyle of Foley was found on the ground next to some equipment in the parking lot of Team Industries. Emergency responders found the recycling truck that he was driving with the hydraulic bed extension resting against an overhead power line. There is concern in Fargo about the return of a dangerous trend involving bicyclists. It's disrupting traffic and causing problems for drivers on busy roads.
Fargo police arrested 2 juveniles on Sunday who were causing trouble on 2nd Avenue North and then took off when the officer on the scene tried to stop them.
Frequently, we'll see groups of 5 to 10 kids taking up the entire street, popping wheelies, things like that, and blocking traffic from moving past.
We have a lot of juveniles riding in neighborhoods, riding in downtown Fargo, videoing what they do and driving towards not only emergency vehicles but vehicles on the street, doing wheelies and basically, for lack of a better term, playing chicken with those vehicles, almost causing accidents in some instances and creating a dangerous environment for everybody who's driving.
Fargo PD says if you see this happening, report it to dispatch, and if you can, safely get photos and video of the incident.
Let's get our answer now to our question of the morning on Facebook. Today's question, on average, what do Americans do 22 times a day in their home?
The answer, open the fridge. Got to make sure
true in my
something.
house too.
Oh yeah, got to make sure something new didn't show up in the last 5 minutes. What's to eat now? I don't know what there was 5 minutes ago.
Wishful thinking, something tastier will show up.
The Today Show at CBS This Morning are just about to start, but the Valley Today rolls on. We're continuing to track breaking news out of South Fargo. A man holed up in his house as he threatens to start it on fire. Join us on the CW for the latest.